Hey guys, Chris back here again with the follow-up. This will be the last video here specifically. I finally got the tungsten new tungsten weight installed. The actual donut, we won't call it the cylinder ports installed on the JP rifle silent capture recoil spring. Looks good. So we got 1, 2, and 3 now. As I said before, I swapped out the old steel one on here. This steel one is pretty light on here. So the tungsten one is basically, I believe it's about 75% heavier than the typical steel one on here. So swap the steel one out, and now the buffer should be basically a H3 equivalent, because I was going from the type H2 to the H3 because my BCM originally had a H buffer in there, and I was told by the JT Enterprises a H2 should work perfectly fine in mine, so I got the H2 heavy buffer in here. And I also wanted to go to the H3 because I was talking to a few guys online, and I was telling them that after I swapped out the bolt carrier group and the trigger, I also put the lighter hammer spring in there, the purple hammer spring, I was getting shorter ejection. I said the ejection pattern was around 2:30, 3 o'clock on using green tip ammunition out there, and I wanted to possibly slow the bolt carrier down so the ejection pattern would typically go back around 4 o'clock, or probably around 3:30, between 3:30 and about 4 o'clock position. That would be the perfect, general ideal ejection pattern for your rifle out here for that. Plus, having the more mass in here as well too would also allow the weapon to cycle better as well too, because having more mass translates into a more smoother functioning overall bolt carrier group as well too. So having this 3 pieces in here as opposed to just having 2 and having the steel one in here, it should make the gun smoother overall shooting. So whenever the bolt carrier is going back and forth like that, it should feel better in your actually cycling, because you have more mass, and also the bolt bounce should also be reduced as well too. So overall, I give the JP Rifles silent captured spring. This is the Generation 2 version, the variable mass operating system bolt carrier setup. I give it 2 thumbs up, guys. So this is definitely a good upgrade for your AR-15 out there. So if you want to possibly install this on your weapon, it's a great upgrade. I can't talk bad about it, but it functions perfectly fine in mine. And I'll make a follow-up video here probably next week or the following week after today. Today's Friday around 5 o'clock in the afternoon here. So I'll make a follow-up video for a test proof video so you can actually see it functioning in my BCM rifle with the cabin. I'll be using probably 3 different types of ammunition. I'll probably be using 55 grain, 223. I'll make sure it works fine with that, and also make sure it works fine with the Lapula 69, Lapula 55, and also the typical green tip ammunition as well too, because the reason I got this was primarily because I wanted to have almost like near perfect ejection for the green tip at around 4 o'clock, or like 3:45 ejection pattern for that stuff. So that's why I primarily got this, because the most ammunition I have over here in my actual quantity was the IMI green tip 62 grain ammunition. So this is primarily designed specifically for that. So that's everything I can tell you about it, guys. It's a great upgrade, no problems with it whatsoever, taking it apart, putting it back together. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot on what I have right here in front of me, feel free to contact me here and leave a message if you have any questions or comments about this specific product. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.